Welcome back, everyone, to Genesis on the OTE Gamers server. I'm Dragon Fu, and we are doing Thaumcraft. So, been a little busy while we've been gone, getting some more stuff ready for us. As you can see, my jars behind us are nice and full. What I've been working on is we are getting our Silverwood Thaumium wands done. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so there we go. I can do this right for once. I've already made a couple of these just because I didn't want to waste the time of setting all this stuff up for you guys and running through and doing it and coming back and doing it again later. Couple things real quick. The instability of the wand core and the caps is moderate. So what you need to do is you need to put some either crystals or heads or the tallow candles down somewhere around the infusion table. They can even be up in the air or they can be underneath. I believe it's a 10 block radius from that center pedestal. So as long as you're within, and they have to be symmetrical. So you can see there's 3 here, 3, 3, 3. So whatever it is on this side, it has to mirror it on the other side. So it's kind of what I did with the skulls also, is mirrored them off on both sides. And this seems to be taking care of 90% of it. I think if I filled it in a little bit more, it would finish taking care of the rest of it. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. The other thing, those make funny noises. I found this out today. This is actually something new for me. If you have bookshelves, and it's unclear on if it's the bookshelves and the crystals, or just the bookshelves that do this. But if you go into here, these will very, very slowly build up, and it is very slowly. It's nothing like you can rely on to like step away for 20-30 minutes, come back and you got a buttload more of them. No, it is really slow. I'm not sure what the pattern set is for maximum on this. I just found out about it today, but it does seem like what I have here, which is a 6x5, is taking care of all but just a couple. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 12 to 13 of the aspects have not been recharged, and this has been running for a couple of hours. So, I don't know if I need to put more on or how I need to change this to get them all, but I don't really have a whole lot of research left to do right now, so just letting this build up is not going to be that big of an issue. So alright, so let's get back into this. We're going to make our Silverwood wand core, which is a Silverwood, and then these balance shards, and then one of each of the primals. And the general rule of thumb is to try to make this as symmetrical as possible. So if you put something here, make sure you put it on the opposite one on the other side. You can add another, what am I thinking of, pedestal on the corners. And a lot of people do. I do. Once I get this set up to where the big setup that I like to do with these, it will have ones in the corner, just so you guys know. But anyway, so we got all of our shards in there. What else do we need? Where is my book? And trust me, I got a lot of stuff set up for you guys today, so I have been quite busy today getting all this stuff put together to go through a lot of this stuff as quick as possible. So, alright, Silverwood Wand Core. It's going to take 9 of each of the primals and 1 Precantatio. So, let's make sure we've got everything. So, we've got the Terra, we've got the Perdito, we've got the Ignis, we've got the Aqua, the Ordo, and the Air, and then the Precantatio. One thing I do want to go over with these jars, if you guys are not aware of this. Let's see, one that we probably won't ever use. Alright, let's do Arbor here. If you shift, right click, it will empty the jar. Whether it's the warded jar or the voided jars, they will empty them. So if you run into a spot where you can't fill in anymore, you've run out of stuff, and you need a jar really bad, then just shift right click and it'll empty it. So, but we're not going to worry about the jars for much longer, simply because we're going to be going over to the AE system here soon. So, alright, so we've got all the aspects we need. Just take our wand and we're going to right click on the runic matrix and watch all of the fun happen. This is pretty cool. I like the animation on this. I think when they did this mod, they've done a really good job with the animations on it. It is really cool. Now you can see that little bit of sparks there coming off of there, and I now have taint poisoning. So there is a little bit of instability left on this. So I should realistically add some more stuff to this to stabilize this up some more. But and then if we look, you can see on top there where each one of the different aspects are going down, and then you should start seeing the different shards get sucked into it. And there we go, okay. Oh, you gotta watch out for that. There's the taint. Like I said, a little bit of instability left in this. It's trying to grab some more stuff for it. Not sure. Oh, I got Ordo short on me. Now, if you have this set up to where there's absolutely no instability, and see it's done. The thing with this is whenever there's instability, you have different effects that can happen. You can get the taint that goes up in the air, the taint that comes down on the ground, which I think is worse because it'll pop the heads up or the candles up like water does. Okay, so then that decreases your stability of your altar, which makes things even worse. But the good thing is, if you have your altar built up good enough to where you have absolutely no stability, you can actually sit there like what just happened there. I had that Ordo shard on me. I could have sat there and went forever. It would have never pulled out more Essentia. It wouldn't have done anything else. When I set my altar up, when I fully set my altar up, there is absolutely no stability in there at all. I've done the highest, very highly unstable infusions with it. I've never had an issue with it. So once I get that thing built, it probably won't be till I get the place done upstairs, just because there's a lot to do with it. So yeah, I'll probably try doing some stuff to improve on the stability of this for the time being. But anyway, so we got our Silverwood rod. And we're going to throw this in here. Put it right in the middle. And now we've got to do our thaumium caps. And your regular thaumium caps are just like what you make, how we made our iron and gold caps. Just like a helmet shape for nuggets in the crafting bench. And then you make them. Unfortunately, to use them on the wand, you have to charge them. So we're going to throw the cap in the middle, and then to throw our 3 Salus Mundus on in, and if you remember, that's from putting a I can't even think what it's called now. Yeah, I'm having a brain fart here. Yeah, the balance shard. I'm sorry. It's been a long day, long day, guys. So you give me a little bit of break here. I can't even speak now. So you just smelt a balance shard and you get the Salus Mundus. So, all right. So what do we need? Now here's the hard part. I've only found one way to get Aurum. Well, actually two ways. Now we've got Ars Magica 2. If you kill a druid, you get a special item from them. That's a very rare drop, and I think it only gives you one Aurum. Let's double check on this. And I just fly right by it. Wow. Alright, so it gives you two, and so does the essence from the wisps, or when you kill a node. Let me see if I can find this real quick. I know it's in here. But yeah, when you kill a node or you kill a wisp, you get a essence, essentia, like, looks like a drop. I don't have any more. I used up all of mine. I've got a wisp spawner that I'm going to be using to... Oh no, did I lose that? I had a goof up in my sorting system earlier, and I might have actually lost that item. It looks like I lost it. But I've actually got an auto spawner set up, or a spawner over there set up with the blaze guys. Unfortunately, it seems to be a little bit buggy. I'm not sure what it is, but whenever you there'll be like invisible wisps like zapping me or kicking the crap out of me or something else doing it. I'm not sure what it is for sure, but once I get this built up this next week, I'm going to set up we'll go through a whole system of setting up some spawners and getting that stuff done. So, anywho, alright, so we need to charge our wand cap. Like I said, this is pretty much wisps or nodes are the only place you can get this that I have found. Usually getting a wisp spawner and killing wisp is generally the easiest way to go. That way you're not killing all your nodes. But and then 12 potentia, what we can get from coal or charcoal. I believe redstone has it too. So whatever you have, the most of it. But we should have enough. We got 19 and 10. And we need 6 and 12. So we have enough. Alright, so let's give this a shot. One other thing about the table is, with the instability, it can destroy the item that you're trying to infuse. Or the materials you're trying to infuse into the item. So you always want to have an extra on hand of all of your materials, just in case that happens. And there, we got our cap. And then just simply one in each corner like we did before. Now here's the thing. In order to make this wand cap, or this wand, as you can see, I've got the full set on. If I take all this stuff off, they must be counting because they're in my bag. Let me drop these out real quick. Yeah, see, this is a glitch because this is not supposed to be like this. This is supposed to be... Oh, okay. I see what it is now. Because generally you're going to have the gold-banded Greatwood wand, or maybe even a Thaumcraft one. So when you put that in, you don't have enough. It's 54. It's more than what the wand can even carry. So then if we take our our thaumaturgies set and put it back on, then we can do it. But this wand is empty. I've been running around doing stuff and things. So, but the Silverwood ones have this one says 79% average vis cost. So, I think it's like a 90%. You get like a 10% discount with the Thaumium Silverwood wands. So it makes things even cheaper, which is better. So, so then we've got our wand. Now it's empty. If you look in the top right corner, it's empty. There's nothing there. 0 on all 5, or all 6, I'm sorry. So what's next? Why did we do this? Well, we are going to go node hunting. I need to go refill some wands. Go refill all of my wands. Yep. There are different ways to refill wands. One, if you have a active mob spawner going, you can actually kill mobs and they drop little essence balls, and you can collect them up, and they will fill up from whichever slot is closest to the front of the line. So, you know, everybody knows that this slot is the number 1 slot, 2, 3, 4, and all the way down. It'll fill up from left to right, fill your wands up, okay? Or you can capture nodes and set up a charging station with either doing it by manually or by using wand recharge pedestal. And then later on, when we get into the lasers, the Viz lasers, you can use the relay on that. So those are the 2 best ways to charge wands, other than running around and going out. What I've done here is done a setup. We are going to make a wand recharge pedestal today, because we're going to just be using these nodes to charge up our wands. But what we're going to do is, these are node stabilizers, and we're going to be bullying a node. We are going to make a super node, and we're going to use that for our Viz relay system that we're going to do. So yeah, once you put a node in here and let it out of the jar, it gets a little glowing ball around it, and it is protected. It will not suck from any of these other ones, and the max range is 4. So as you can see from this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I move it out here, it will not. That node would not be able to suck out of here, but it would suck out of here. So if you don't have these, or you're not able to do these yet, the node stabilizers, but you want to have a bunch of nodes to recharge your wand at your base, make sure there is 4 blocks between them, and they will not suck off of each other. Otherwise, they will eat each other. And we'll go over the nodes a little bit more here in a minute. But I am going to run back to the mining world. I've got a bunch of nodes set up and marked. And then, but I will be right back once I get my wands recharged, and I am ready to pick up a node with you guys. So, be right back. Right, and we are back. Alright, so we're going to grab this node. And my general rule of thumb about grabbing nodes is not to grab anything that is less than 50 or right around 50. And this is actually a double one, so it's Ignis and Air both at 51. So we're going to pick this node up. And the reason why you want them to be around 50 at least is when you get to the Viz relay section, or the part, it's going to break down the node a lot. I can't remember exactly what the breakdown is as far as how big your node is, on what it breaks down to as far as the energized node for the Viz relays, or for the Viz lasers. But you want bigger nodes. I generally try to go for at least 50 to, I think it's 80, I want to say 86. somewhere in that range. But the problem is once you break, I think it's 25 essence in a node, it takes longer to build it up. Um, so 50 is good because you can let the node sit longer and be eaten off longer. Um, to That way you don't have to worry about it so much. Um, Worry about destroying the node because you take the node down to 0 and it does have a chance of killing the node. So, but we'll get back into that a little bit. But you just do with your glass, it's 27 pieces of glass and 9 oak slab, and basically it just looks like a jar with the node in the middle, and then you just right click in the center and now you have a node in the jar. Now if you don't scan the node before you jar it, you can't tell what the node is, and then you just break it, just punch it to break it. So as you can see, I've kind of grabbed a couple more already, and I can't read this one. If you look at the tooltips, it says normal, pale, ordo, perdido, and it tells you how much is in there. And there's also different kinds. There's fading, there's dull, pale. There's also bright. Bright is the ones that you want to work with, and there's sinister, and then there's hungry. Unfortunately, I haven't come across a hungry node yet, again, so I can't work with one of them, but we're just going to work with what we've got here. So, and I've got 5. I'm going to see if I can grab a couple more, and I will meet you guys back at the base. And we are back. Got a slight confession to make. I finished recording this video and realized that it did not record. So I've got about 20 minutes left to do for stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some of the stuff behind me real quick, and then show you something else I made, and then we're going to work on something so we can go into the deep dark without having to worry about anything. So alright, so let's excuse me. Alright, so let's get into it. If I can hit the right button. Alright, so like I said before, these are node stabilizers. And what they do is when they're turned on, they will not allow nodes to feed off of each other. Even though they're within that in a 4-block range, they will not feed off of each other. But if you put down a lever and turn the lever on, it opens up the stabilizer, and then it's free to feed off of each other. So I've been doing this, has been sitting for a little bit, doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot of feeding. One of the reasons why I want to go into the deep dark to find some more nodes. They're easier to track down there. So yeah, it's also flat, so you're not having to waste so much time, you know, going up and down and stuff like that. So they're a lot easier to find. All right, so yeah, if you want to do this setup without the node stabilizers, you have to be careful. You have to make sure you put your nodes 4 nodes away. The reason why I do node stabilizers, or I'm trying the node stabilizers, is because you can turn the node off and let it recharge. Because if you let it go down to 0, there's a possibility of it dying. So your nodes can last a lot longer. And if you have 8 nodes that you're trying to feed into one, then you've got 2 different sets of nodes, 2 sets of 4s that you can be feeding into the node at one time. So just something to kind of think about. So yeah, to get the node out of the jar, you simply just put it down, and then you're going to right click with your wand, and it opens the jar and the node's free. Now if you want to capture the node again, then you got to build the big giant jar thing again. So just keep that in mind. The other thing that we made, or that I made, was this little handy thing right here, the Wand of Equal Trade. And I'm going to go over this really quick, and then we're going to make a couple things that I haven't even seen if I'm even ready to make yet. So we're gonna wing this last little bit. So why am I not breaking dirt? Why am I not using a shovel? That is the real question. All right, shovel. All right, now there is. Wow, I can't pick that. There it goes. Okay. Let me look at something real quick. There is an item called the Resonant Exchanger, but I don't know if it's in this mod pack. Yes, it is. Okay. It's in it's in the Endertech mod. And basically what the Resonant Exchanger does is the same thing that the Wand of Equal Trade does. Okay, except it just uses RF to power it, and this uses the vis out of your wand to charge it. So to put the wand or the foci on your wand, you select your wand and hold F. Make sure you don't have any conflicts with it. Generally there's one or two conflicts. And then you just select whatever foci you want. There's a lot of them. And then you click on it. And now you got the Wand of Equal Trade. Okay. So I believe this is the same for the Resonant Exchanger. I've never used it, but if you shift right click, then now you've got your source block detected. If you look in the top left hand corner, you'll see it has a cobblestone with 64 on it. And it's also got little golden knobs on Perdido, Ordo, and Terra. It is going to use 0.04 for every block placed. Okay, so if I want to place a single block, you left click. If you want to place several blocks, you right click. Simple as that. Now they do have upgrades for the foci, and now I gotta remember. Yeah, foci manipulation, and it does cost experience points. That's all it costs to actually do them. I don't have the stuff. I'm not going to worry about doing it right now because I don't have, all I got is 20 levels and I've got nothing else to do. No other way to gather experience points right now until I get my mob farm going, and then I'll have all the experience I could ever want. So if you want to, now with this you kind of have to be careful because as you've seen I hit the wall and it covered the floor. So if I want to put the floor back to grass again, you kind of have to do like a border around it, and then you can right click and it'll change everything back to the dirt. Because if I come over here to this side and right click, it turns the wall back to dirt also. So it does go diagonal. I have found a couple instances where it's gone diagonal, so it's always a good thing to kind of just make sure you do a nice border and then change out all the rest of your stuff. So I like to build with dirt, and then to get my basic shape, and then change it to the block that I want. And this wand is fantastic. I love using this wand. So there's several different foci. This one here, what is it? Fire will give you basically like a blowtorch. a flamethrower, and then wand of equal trade. Excavation it'll break blocks. Warding. This might be something we use downstairs, but we need a nether star, and the nether star that I have, I want to keep. The warding will pretty much makes a block indestructible, and we can use that downstairs on our tree farm. We can put that, put our fill our holes back in, and then put warding all over that area so we can't break it. So the trees can't break it anymore because there's a big hole down there again. So this might be something I'll get into later. Frost shoots a frost ball that applies slow effect to anybody it hits, including yourself. Shock is a pretty cool one. It shoots lightning bolts out. It's kind of cool. I like using that one. Wand of Nine Hells. I can't remember. I don't use this one very much. The bat one pretty much releases like 2 fire bats or something like that. And this might be like releases fire bats. You have to forgive me. I don't use that one folk very much. And then down in Tinkerer, you've got more. You've got Effete's Frame. Sorry, I'm going having some problems. But this foci will auto smelt any block that you hit. Okay. Uprising will propel things through the air. And you can also propel yourself through the air. Distortion pretty much brings you from projectiles. Mending is a healing one. Dislocation is kind of cool. I like the dislocation one because this is the one that you can pick up your Steve's Factory Manager block and move it somewhere else and not have to worry about redoing all your settings. It's a nice one to have. And then there's also telekinesis. You pretty much can move items that are laying out in the world. You can pick them up, move them. Ender Rift. Oh, I can't remember. I think this is the one that makes a portal to the end, I believe. There again, that's something I haven't used. I don't use on a normal basis, so I believe there is also there's Blink, which pretty much is like an Ender Pearl. It's just you get to do the whole blink forward thing. There's also an AE wrench one. You can turn into your wand into an AE wrench. So that's kind of cool too. And I don't think there was anything in Witchery. Ooh, I've got that. Ah, okay. Sorry, I've been doing some research while until I found out that I didn't have the rest of this episode done, so yeah, we can do some terraforming too, evidently, with Witchery. But anyway, I did learn something else out useful. Where's it at? Some things we are going to try to get into when we do some Botania is actually making wands and the wands and the caps from Botania materials, and they've also got a couple of flowers. The Whisperweed is the one. The Whisperweed is a magical plant which uses mana to whisper scraps of arcane knowledge into the ears of anyone nearby. So, but it does say prolonged exposure to its unearthly murmurs may have a negative effect on your psyche, however. So I'm thinking that this will give you warp for being around it too long. But I'm thinking that the whisper weed does the same thing that our bookshelves and crystals are doing over there. Um, that might be something we look at. This daisy. uh, Alright, I think this is the one that does essence. Let's see. By combining thaumaturgy and hedge magic, you've created a flower that can use mana to rip open the fabric of reality. The rip isn't stable enough to form a node, but it does stay open long enough to drop a single wispy strand of essence. Applying a redstone signal causes it to stop. So this is something we might look in doing. The instability is very high, and my table is not set up for that yet. I might set up some kind of temporary thing where we could do this. I don't know yet. We'll have to see how we get into our other Botania stuff. This might be something I do off camera and show you guys later. And then the taint thistle will actually take... Okay. You know how I was saying that if you leave too much essence in here when you're making stuff with alchemy and you get the tainted goo stuff, that either the gas or the goo that goes on the ground? Well, the taint thistle will actually take that goo and turn it into mana. And the same thing with the infusion table. It will take the gaseous or the goo and turn it into mana, which is kind of an interesting way to clean it up. It might be something I throw in here just for giggles, because I do know that I can't remember if it's just the flowers or if it's just certain flowers can help with the stability of your infusion table too. So I might get a couple of those and throw them in here just to throw them in here and see what it does. We'll have to see. Might be a nice little decorative piece. Alright, so I said we were going to make something to help us with the deep dark. Because you know, if you go into the deep dark and don't have light around you, you die. So, I think it's in here. Yes, there it is. Hyper energetic Nitor. This thing is kind of cool. It's pretty much like a light source that follows you around. So we're going to need some Potentia, some air, some Ignis, and Lux. Let's see. I got 16 Lux. I need more Lux. Potentia, 23. Okay, so I need some more Potentia. Got plenty of air. And plenty of fire. Alright, so... why don't I get this stuff crafted up and get ready to make this hyper energetic Nitor, and I will be right back. Right, we are back. Gonna make this quick. We are just about out of time. Alright, so to make this, our catalyst is going to be a piece of niter. That's what we're going to throw into our pot. So we need 10 air, 10 ignis, 25 lux, and 25 potentia. Unfortunately, we have to do these in 8, because that's what our vials hold. So let's grab a couple of air, couple of ignis. We're going to need 4 from lux. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seem to be having some issues here. Alright, and then 4 from Potentia. Come on. There we go. Alright, so we're going to put one of these back. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we're going to drop all this stuff into our crucible. Let me get some more water in there. I need to get the ever full urn. It's so much easier than doing this. Alright, so let's throw our stuff in. And then throw our niter in. Alright, so now we got extra. If we want to clear that out, the easiest way is to take your wand and shift right click. There it goes. Now see, that's the gaseous form of the goo. Alright, so we have a Hyper Nitor. And oh, wrong button. If we go out here where it's dark, I lost my cows. Oh well. We come out here where it's dark, you'll notice it's going to get light. Really useful for spelunking around caves or going into the deep dark. You don't have to worry about anything. And it's a trail. It'll stay there for a little bit, and then it will eventually disappear. Now this can cause some frame rate issues, client side if you're on a server, just because it does a little, it just leaves a trail behind you. So if you want to not use it, then all you have to do is just take it out of your hotbar, and then you'll no longer make the little trails, I believe. No, I think as long as it's in your inventory, it's going to do it. Let's come up here. Nope, it's just your hotbar. So if I put it back in my hotbar, it should, there it goes, light up again. Okay? Alright, so with that, I am going to call it an episode. I'm going to edit this up real quick, get it uploaded, and then I will be right back again with Botania. I want to get some stuff with Botania going with you guys tonight. Trying to stay on my everyday upload thing. So let me get this video edited for you guys real quick, and I will be back with another episode. Until then, if you liked it, give me a big thumbs up. If you're new to this series, or even if you're still watching this series, hit that big red subscribe button. Help me out, guys. Any comments, questions, let me know. Any tips, tricks that you guys have seen, or with stuff that I've done that you guys have seen that you could probably do better, or a different way of doing things, please, by all means, let me know down in the comment section below. Other than that, I will see you guys next time.